Hello. Today we are going to continue 2022's theme of surviving elegantly during the chaos.
Yay!
Yay! You know, and this is a time when we really have to take a look at things, do things differently. And some of those things will be in the old way. Like today I was listening to radio and NPR news and just radio stories and stories from the stage. And that's, and I realized how fun it is just to listen to the radio. How fun it is just to have a cup of hot chocolate. Just doing small things and enjoying. And that every time your mind wanders, and it wanders off to a drama, a trauma, an issue, a problem, bring it back to center. And just enjoy life. And I want to share a little bit with you from Living A Course in Miracles, an essential guide to the classic text. And this is by John Mundy, PhD. I actually taught lessons from A Course in Miracles for about 15 years and studied. So this is something I think is just kind of fun. And I'm going to read a couple of excerpts. And this is called Inward is Sanity, Selfishness, Aloneness, and Insanity. There is a Danish story about a spider that lived high in the rafters of an old barn. One day, the spider decided to lower himself to a beam where he found the flies more prolific and more easily caught. He therefore decided to live permanently on this lower level. He spun for himself a comfortable web. One day he noticed the line down which he had come and said to himself that he no longer needed it. So he snapped it and destroyed the support for his whole web. A tiny thread connects us with the infinite. We have come from God, Goddess, good orderly direction, and we are returning home. Everyone wakes up someday. Everything eventually returns to its source. Coming into the world, we easily become fascinated with the world, and we forget about source. We look at that thread which connects us with the infinite and think, that thing is in the way. We snap the line and then we go mad. As you look with open eyes upon your world, it must occur to you that you have withdrawn into insanity. You communicate with no one, and you are as isolated from reality as if you were alone in all the universe. God, Goddess, good orderly direction calls you, and you do not hear. For you are preoccupied with your own voice, and the vision of His Holiness is not in your sight. For you look upon yourself alone. During this time of trauma and drama and pandemic, and when the answers are all over the place and people are arguing and not sure about what to do, go inside and listen. If it's time to wear a mask, wear a mask. If it's time to isolate, isolate. If it's time to enjoy the family, enjoy the family. It's time to, have been given a gift. And that gift is, instead of running hither and yon and everywhere all over the place, we now have opportunity to connect with each other, to connect with our family, to perhaps have meals together, to perhaps be able to share each other's day and concern. It's going to take a while to adjust to that, but what a wonderful thing and what a wonderful time to create memories and to be close with one another and to create some really lasting, beautiful bonds with each other. I wanted to just share a few things with you. This is it, a course, an introduction to A Course in Miracles. This is A Course in Miracles. It's a required course. Only the time you take it is voluntary. Free will does not mean that you can establish the curriculum. It means only that you can elect what you want to take at a given time. The course does not aim at teaching the meaning of love, for that is beyond what can be taught. It does aim, however, at removing the blocks in the awareness of love's presence, which is your natural inheritance. The opposite of love is fear, false evidence appearing real. Yet what is all-encompassing can have no opposite. This course can therefore be summed up very simply in this way. Nothing, no thing real can be threatened. Nothing, no thing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of the divine. So that is something that I wanted us to just kind of understand. Nothing real can be taken away from you. Now, we take a look at things, stuff, material. Remember George Carlin, the comedian who made the whole act about our stuff and how much our stuff owns us? You know, and this is a time when we can look at things beyond stuff and look at the humans in our lives and look at the love that we can get and the kindness and the compassion and the joy. Just the joy from the small things, the simple things, the small things. And also doing self-responsibility. This is the era when we need to be, in some ways, our own physician. It's like remembering that doctors, surgeons, PAs, nurses are human beings, and their energy is being taxed to the max. We need to step in and listen to our minds, our bodies. Listen to what is going to benefit us. Taking a look at natural forms of healing. And that can be anything from Reiki, meditation, prayer, massage, acupuncture, dancing in the spirit, singing. It can be essential oils, natural herbs and vitamins. And these are all things that we're really having to take a look at. I know homeopathic remedies. We have that at, Dave's Health Food Store. We have that at Whole Earth. And if we take a look at something, there's two major companies, Byron and Highlands, that have naturopathic herbs. The little tiny white pills that you stick under your tongue, and that's hair of the dog that bit you. So many things for us to comprehend, whether it's turmeric, and there's so many things being put out there. I know for myself, one of the things I've done for years since I was diagnosed with breast cancer was I took Juice Plus, which is in capsule form. I even went and toured the plant. And I found that, yes, that really does, it's natural. It's got the sugars removed, and I am diabetic. So that is really important to me. And it has something like, I don't really know, but at least 17 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. So, and it also has some, I was thinking, so you can poop.
Oh, right, the fiber.
It has fiber. Which is really helpful. But I know I'm 73, and one of the things that I've seen is that when I look at the certain things such as the Juice Plus, it really takes care of my digestive tract. I also learned that charcoal, there are certain herbal companies that make charcoal compounds, and that really helped me when I had ulcerative colitis and bleeding ulcers, and I have used can you name some of the, for the stomach?
Like probiotics?
Okay, probiotics. So I have used a lot of Activia recently, and that seems to have helped, which is really interesting. But also Pepsid AC, and it had to be the AC for me in order to take care of the pain in my gut, and it's like we have to, as individuals, we have to begin to realize that we've got to look around and see what remedies will help us, will benefit us. Because if we just look at the AMA and the poor medical folks that are just being drained to the max, we need to be taking some self-responsibility for all of this, rather than, for years and years and years, people have believed you just go to the doctor and the doctor solves everything. That's not reality. It's just not reality. So I invite you to start investigating, start looking at things, and to not get overly frustrated at how much there is to learn. Because and you can, just like I've done, I've selected a few things that really work for me. And just because they work for me doesn't mean it's going to work for thee. We have to experiment and see what really helps us. I know I don't eat a whole lot. I don't lose any weight either. Yet I have no thyroid. And so, as far as what is beneficial for you to eat, I'm not much of a meat eater. Yet I'm seeing that in our society, in the Western world, in America, we've been trained to eat meat. And what does that do? That really messes with our digestive system, and it messes with our ticker, so, and yet, I use meat more like a condiment than I do as the main dish. I'm not like vegetarian, But I do love things like squash and kefir, which is liquid yogurt, and cottage cheese and pears or pineapple, and I eat, especially in my time of life, I eat lighter. And that seems to help me a great deal. Just a suggestion, and also take a look at A Course in Miracles. That is an interesting thing to study. So is spiritual philosophy for the new age. John Randolph Price from the Cordis Foundation. So that is really beneficial. There are so many things that we get to embrace. Take this time that we've been given now to relax, to play with your family, to acknowledge your kids and be with your kids, and acknowledge the elders in your life and respect them. The animals, the critters, how wonderful the four-leggeds are, and the winged ones, and even the ones that are swimming in the waters. I watched a documentary the other night on octopi, and how intelligent, fascinating they are, and that they can get into all kinds of small spaces because they have no exoskeleton. So they have no spine, no bones. And yet how intelligent they are. Their science is saying that they're at least as intelligent as a dog. I also find it really interesting that we really do not know what is at the bottom of the ocean. We have no idea. We also have no idea what we are doing to the ocean. One of my poems says, sonar from the Navy, you want some whale or dolphin gravy? We have no clue what we are eradicating, shifting, changing. Oh my God, we just discovered a new species. Bacteria, feces, what's really coming from my kitchen sink. Not a drop to drink. Ah! No, it's coming from the sky. Oh my, it's light blue. Ah! It's coming from a toilet too. There are so many crazy things, but just focus on something that you think is relevant to work on. Climate change, species that we're starting to eliminate from the planet, and don't get so enmeshed that you're no earthly good. Walk a spiritual path with practical feet, and don't be so spiritual you're no earthly good, which is bloom where you are planted. Forever like the rose, I suppose that's the way to live. Soft and ever giving lots of beauty to the world. It's not an easy task, but it's one we need to do. Enjoy your life. Laugh. Humor is your best friend. Anger is your worst enemy. Love each other. Just love each other. Know that there's more than just this life, this plane. Know that the powers that be aren't. And that there is something more. There is source. And honor yourselves. Honor what feels deep truth in you. You know your truth. You know what works for you. And remember that God don't make no junk. God don't make no junk. Okay, so on that note, Take some time every day to just be with yourself. Even, darlings, if it's nothing more than spending time in the bathroom with the door shut and no phone.
No phone?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need to use the bathroom as your office. You know, and just if you're going to spend a lot of money in any room in the house, I would suggest the bathroom. Because as you get older, you'd be surprised how much time you're going to spend in there. You could have a garden tub, a jacuzzi. You could have plants and just make it into a beautiful spa. Even as my bathroom is really tiny, but I have sayings from the Dalai Lama all over. And then on my ceiling, I have a beautiful scarf that kind of looks like a gypsy tent, which works for me. So, you know, I have a lot of angels around to remind you of angelic energy. You know, animals, four-legged, stuffed animals, whatever brings you joy. And for me, I have sayings all over my home to remind me, and it does on a daily basis, to remind me that life is beautiful, life is magical. Whatever it is that does that for you. And on that note, we'll see you next time. Please, if you liked this video, please check you liked it and subscribe. I have found that it's really important that you subscribe every time if you want more of my videos to be coming up. And I thank you, and I love you, and I would just be thrilled to know that you're doing your grats and your pats. And perhaps even your 101 wishes for 22. On that note, Goddess bless. Aho. Life, I speak my word, and so it is. Blessings on each and every one of you. Keep walking the talk and living the life. Ciao.